recording. So we're going to come into a seated position, simple, easy pose. Just entering this space, entering this place, and getting ready for our practice. So simple pose. If you can, maybe try and find a block. We are going to sit, hopefully with, not fall off the block as we sit, hopefully with your knees below your hips. So the benefit of this is just that it gets your pelvis in the right position so that you're not, leaning backwards like you do when sometimes your knees are up this high. So we're going to close our eyes and just take a moment here to listen to our breaths. So don't change anything yet. Just start to become aware of your breathing. And notice how the breathing affects your body. Do you feel your shoulders rising up as you inhale, or is your belly swelling to make space in the lower cavities of your body? Good. We're going to start by starting to deepen that breath. So as you inhale, maybe try and leave the shoulders where they are and just let that belly take the brunt of this air that we're letting into our bodies. And exhale, completely emptying the container. Good. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth, letting go of anything that isn't in this space, in this place, and part of your intention today. Good. As we inhale, we're going to raise our hands up to the sky. And just breathe here for a moment, checking in with your shoulder blades, checking in with your rib cage. So you really want your shoulders down, biceps framing your ears. So you don't want your head too far back, you don't want your head too far forward. Just ears between the biceps, shoulders back and down. And notice how the ribcage loves to come out. So we want to just activate that core to pull the ribcage in. So this is an active pose. Even though we're just sitting in this lovely yogic pose, this is an active pose. The body is moving and adjusting to find what's most natural for you. And then as you exhale, we're going to twist over to the right, left hand coming to the right thigh, maybe looking over your right shoulder blade. And as you inhale, find a little bit of length in your spine. And as you exhale, perhaps twist a little deeper. Take 2 breaths here. Good. Inhale back to center. And exhale, twist to the second side. And again, as you inhale, find a little bit of length in that spine, maybe in your mid-back. And then use that length to make space for your twist as you exhale. One more inhale. And exhale, twist a little deeper. And then inhale back to center, hands to the sky. And exhale brings your hands forward into prayer, closing your eyes for just a moment, finding your intention, setting an intention or a mantra or a thought to guide you in this practice today. Good. Opening your eyes. We're going to come forward into a tabletop position, wrists under your shoulders, knees under your ankles, knees over your ankles. Yeah. The nice thing about being on camera is you can actually adjust yourself. All right. As you inhale, we're going to open your heart forward, taking a cow position, letting your belly drop between your heart coming forward through the window of your arms. And then as you exhale, doming your back, creating some space between your shoulder blades for a cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And then inhaling to a neutral spine. Good. We're going to come into a puppy pose. So from here, you're just going to walk your hands out forward, maybe letting your heart come to the earth. This is an upper back stretch, maybe a shoulder stretch. As you come into this puppy pose, make sure that your shoulders are back and down. So it's super important that your shoulders are back and down here, otherwise you risk injuring your rotator cuffs. And just come down as far as you're comfortable. This is one of the first poses of practice, so don't go too hard. We're just trying to open up the shoulders and the upper back. Good. Breathing into that space, that sensation. And then as you inhale slowly, coming back up, walking your hands back under your shoulders. Good. We're going to tuck the toes. We're just going to lift the knees about an inch or two above the ground. We're just going to hover here for a few breaths, letting the core activate and engage, just waking up the body and reminding it that this next hour or so is for you. Please feel free to modify as we practice. Obviously, well, if it was obvious, I wouldn't have to say it, so I'll say it here. Please be mindful of your body. Respect your limits and listen to what your body has to say to you today. As a dear friend of mine once said, and I'm sure this is probably a famous quote on Instagram, if you listen to your body whisper, you may never have to listen to it scream. Good. And then as you exhale, slowly bringing your hips up and back, coming into the first downward facing dog of the day. Breathe into this position here and just take note of what parts of your body are stiff. Maybe you pedal out your feet to open up the backs of the hamstrings and the calves. Maybe you rock your hips side to side to get a little bit of life into that side body. Just take note of where you are today and be mindful. Good. As you inhale, you'll raise your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, forward. Bring your left foot forward, keeping your toes tucked, and coming into a low crescent lunge. So your right knee comes to the earth. Untuck your right toes and open up. So this opens up the psoas, those muscles that get really tight when you're sitting at a computer all day. So you're opening up this part of the body, this like big muscle that comes in right near the front of the right hip flexor. And you can stay here, or if you want a little bit of a shoulder opener, you can raise your arms to the sky on the inhale and open your arms, presenting your heart to the sky. But as you do so, notice that your lower back likes to collapse. And in any back bend, you really want to activate that core, protect the lower back, almost like you're zipping up a wetsuit, is the sensation you're looking for here. Good, and then as you exhale, straighten that left leg, coming into a half forward fold, a half splits. Left toes come to the sky as you fold over the left leg. And take a moment here, maybe rotating your foot left and right, clockwise or counterclockwise, and notice how it activates different parts of the hamstrings. Maybe one part is tight for you today. Good, inhale brings you back up to a low crescent lunge for one breath, and then as you exhale, hands on either side of your left foot, tuck your right toes, and make your way, maybe through a vinyasa, maybe not yet, to downward facing dog. Good. Inhale brings the right leg up and back. Exhale brings the right foot forward between the hands. And again, dropping that left knee to the earth and untucking the left toes as you come into Anjaneyasana, or low crescent lunge, on the second side. Breathing into the left psoas. Noticing how if you push in through the tops of your left feet, maybe you get a little bit more of an active opening sensation in the psoas. Maybe you inhale with your hands to the sky. And maybe you open your arms into a cactus shape, getting a little bit of a heart opener, back bend here. And then as you exhale, forward fold over that right leg, coming into a half splits. And again, maybe take that right foot clockwise or counterclockwise, just exploring the back of your right leg, finding the parts of your body that are tight. Good. And then as you inhale, come back into a low crescent lunge for just a breath. And then as you exhale, hands to either side of the foot as you make your way to downward facing dog, perhaps flowing through a vinyasa on your way there. Notice that all vinyasas are optional. Options are optional. And if they're just not what your body is craving today, know that this is a judgment-free class. All I ask is that you return the favor. Good. And we're going to walk your feet to the front of the mat, coming into a forward fold near the top of the mat, maybe letting the arms dangle, grabbing opposite elbows for a ragdoll. Letting gravity do most of the work here. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands into prayer at the front of the mat. Good. So for sun salutation A, we're going to do 3 of these. I'll cue through the first one, and then probably cue you through the second 2 as well. Good. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come to a flat back. And exhale, step back, one foot and then the other into a plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here. On the next inhale, walking forward. Maybe you hop, maybe you step. I like to walk. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, hands to the sky. Maybe find a gentle back bend. And exhale, hands to prayer. That's 1 round, so we'll go through a couple more. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. As you exhale, hop, step, or jump to the back of the mat plank. Exhale to a chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. And notice how we want to move with our breath here. So there are a couple of tricky transitions where maybe when you're stepping back into plank and coming down to chaturanga, maybe you take 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Or maybe you just take the 1. Just do what your body craves. There's no rush. Move with your breath rather than with your instructor. Good. On the next inhale, look between your hands. Maybe bend your knees. And as you exhale, make your way back to a forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands between your, hands to prayer. Good. Good. On the next inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, hop, step, or jump, all the way eventually to chaturanga. Inhale to the upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And as you breathe here in downward facing dog, just take an inventory of your wrists and your hands and your shoulders and notice where the weight is in the upper half of your body. Are you distributing the weight across the knuckles of your hand, or are you dumping the energy into the heel? And that precious heel where the carpal tunnel is. Maybe we want to grab the earth with our knuckles, with our fingers active and engaged to protect the heel of the wrist from all that pressure of your upper body. Good. Inhale, look between your hands. And exhale, make your way to a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to prayer. Good. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring your right foot back, coming into warrior one on the inhale. So right heel on the ground, left foot forward, bent knee. Taking a breath here. And then as you exhale, hands down, frame either side of the foot, left foot back to plank as you flow through chaturanga, up dog on the inhale, and exhale, downward facing dog. Nicely done. Inhale brings your left foot up and back. Exhale, left foot forward, coming into a low runner's lunge. Right toes tucked, heel above your ankle. And then as you inhale, come all the way into a high crescent lunge. Noticing where your shoulders and your lower core, noticing what your body is doing here. Good, and then as you exhale, without changing the shape of your arms, we're just going to step forward into chair. Good. I love chair because you can move your hips around, no problem. Your lower back should be nice and loose here. Good. And then as you exhale, forward fold, straightening your legs. Whew. Inhale all the way up, hands to the sky, maybe find a gentle back bend. And exhale, hands to prayer. Good. Breathe here, one breath. Good. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, left foot back, pivoting your heel to the ground as you come into warrior one on the second side. Taking a breath here, noticing how your hips want to point to the left, but you really want them pointed forward. Good, and then exhale, hands to either side of the foot. Right foot stepping back as you flow through maybe a chaturanga, up dog, down dog, or meet us in downward facing dog. Nicely done. And as you sit in downward facing dog, know that this is not a resting pose. So your body should be working in this pose to protect the wrists, to protect the ankles. Your shoulders should be back and down. The crease of your elbows pointing forward. Good. On the next inhale, your right foot is going to come up and back. Exhale, right foot forward. Left foot toes tucked. Inhale to a high lunge. Breathe here, ankle above your toes. And then as you exhale, without changing the shape of your arms, step that left foot forward to meet the right and come back into chair. Again, letting those hips swing loose. We'll change the angle, see how that looks. How's that hip set swinging loose here? Yeah, it's really not a hard pose. You're just sitting in a chair at the end of the day. Maybe it's a little hard. And then as you inhale, straightening the legs, coming all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Just taking a moment here in this forward fold, maybe letting that neck hang loose. Good. Inhale brings you to a flat back. As you exhale, step the right foot back to a high lunge. Inhale, arms to the sky. And then as you exhale, you're going to twist over your left shoulder, coming into a twisted high crescent lunge. So your right foot is back, your heart's opening to the left. Good. Holding here for just a moment longer. And then as you exhale, you're going to come forward into an easy twist. So right hand to the ground, next to your left foot, as you open your left arm to the sky. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring your right knee to the ground. And then bend your right leg. So we're going to come into corkscrew. So the right leg is bent, your left arm is reaching back to grab the top of the right foot, outside edge of the right foot. We're going to come into a wonky twist. So you may feel this in the quads, twisting your heart open to the sky. Good, on the next exhale, release that right foot, tucking the toes, stepping back into a plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Good, while we're here, you're going to shift the weight into your left hand. We're going to go for a twist, a gentle twist in upward facing dog. So your right arm comes to your left leg. Maybe it catches your calf, your quads, your knee, or your ankle. Just find a twist in the upper back here. Good, as you inhale, bring that right arm back to downward facing dog. And exhale, twist to the second side. As you inhale, bring the left hand forward, downward facing dog. Inhale, look between your hands. Bend your knees and hop, step, or jump on the exhale to forward fold. Inhale brings you all the way up. And exhale, hands to prayer. Good. Inhale, hands to the sky, opening your heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. And as you exhale, come to a high lunge, left foot back. Hands to the sky on the inhale. Good. As you exhale, you're going to twist over your right shoulder this time as you open your heart to the side. Maybe don't fall. There we go. Try and keep that left knee straight. Activating the core to protect that lower back as you twist. And then as you exhale, left hand down to the mat for a simple, easy twist. And then as you exhale, left knee to the ground, opening up into corkscrew on the second side. Bending the left foot, grabbing the outside edge of the left leg with the right arm, opening your heart to the sky, and getting a lovely opening all the way across the front of your left leg, maybe the outside of your right hip. Good. Exhale, let go of the right foot, tucking the toes, hands to the earth, and flow through Chaturanga, or meeting us in downward facing dog. On the next inhale, you're going to bring your left foot up and back. Exhale, bend the left knee and open up into a position that I lovingly call fire hydrant pose. Opens up the left side body, left hips. And in this pose, you might want to try and bring your knee to the sky. Good. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale brings that left foot forward in between the hands as you pivot, rotate the right ankle to the ground. And inhale, open up into Warrior Two. In Warrior Two, your shoulders should be back and down, so it's really tempting for those shoulders to come up like this. You really want to imagine you're pushing the world away from you with those hands extended to either side. Good. As you inhale, flip the left hand, palm to the sky, opening up into Humble Warrior. And as you exhale, coming forward into a side angle pose. Side angle pose, you could bring your left knee to your left elbow. If you do so, use the connective energy between these two joints to really rotate your heart open to the sky. Good. Inhale brings you back to Warrior Two. And exhale, settle in a little deeper. Maybe bend that left knee more than you did before. We're going to come into half moon, so find a point of focus in front of you. Left hand maybe comes to the outside, top left corner of the mat as you shift your weight into your left leg and jump up into a Warrior Two position. Right foot is active and engaged as though it was pushing against an imaginary wall. Right arm to the sky. Maybe the left hand stays on the mat, finds a block, or maybe it comes into a half prayer. And then as you exhale, pivot down so that both of your hands come to the earth. And inhale brings you into a standing splits, right leg up to the sky. And then exhale brings the right foot down to meet the left. Stay here in forward fold. Or bring your peace fingers to wrap around your big toes and come into a slightly more active forward fold. Release your big toes if you've got them. Inhale brings you all the way up. And exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale to a flat back. And exhale, make your way back to downward facing dog. Maybe flowing through Vinyasa, maybe not. Remember to listen to your body in this practice. It certainly knows more about what's going on in your body than some poor teacher on Zoom. Good. Inhale brings that right leg up and back. Exhale, step it forward, making your way into a warrior two, so bring that left heel to the earth. Inhale brings you up. And again, checking in with those shoulders to make sure that they are really sliding down and back along your back. As you inhale, flip the right hand palm to the sky, opening up into a humble warrior. Peaceful warrior, excuse me. And then as you exhale, right elbow to right knee, opening up into side angle pose on the second side. Trying to find as straight a line as you can between the left wrist and the left ankle. Opening your heart to the sky with a little bit of a twist. All right, appears that I am on fire. Inhale back to a warrior two. I think that's just the oven. Hopefully my wife is on top of it. But if class is suddenly canceled, just know that this class was so awesome that we were literally on fire. There it goes. Good. Finding that point of balance in front of you, we're going to step forward into half moon once again. Right hand coming to the outside edge of the right side of the mat. Left arm opening to the sky, left foot pressing firmly against that imaginary wall, that imaginary support behind you. And then as you exhale, bringing that left hand down to meet the right, pulling that left foot up and back for standing splits. And then as you exhale, bring that left foot forward to meet the right and sit in forward fold. So for a deeper forward fold, you can either stay here or use your peace fingers around the big side of your toes. Or if you really want to go deeper today, maybe you step on the palms of your hand. Totally forgot the name of this pose, but it sounds awesome, I swear. And you're going to use that connective energy between your wrist and your toes to try and keep a flat back as you forward fold, and maybe bend your arms to come a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper. Good, one more inhale. Exhale, come a little bit deeper. At the bottom of your breath, leave your breath out for a moment as you step off of your hands. And then inhale all the way up to a standing pose, hands to the sky. And exhale, hands to prayer. Good. Take a moment here, focus on that breath, the intention that we set earlier today. So hands in front of you in prayer. Hopefully this angle works. Sorry, but the lighting kind of sucks. Good. So we're going to come into eagle pose. So I'll walk you through it step by step, but don't be shy about rushing forward if that's what your practice demands of you today. So as you inhale, you're going to bring the right leg up. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring the right leg over the left as maybe you bend the left knee a little bit. Yeah, sorry. Let's see if this angle is better. So legs. And just know that even if you are a teacher who's been teaching for years, sometimes your balance just doesn't want to obey. Cool. So now you're going to bring your arms out to the side. almost like a T, and then you're going to bring your right elbow under your left, crossing your left arm over, and then Garudasana, or they call it eagle pose, although technically a Garuda is not an eagle. We're just going to sit in here and notice that. I'm going to switch to this angle. So you're going to try and keep a flat back, and then you really want your shoulders to be down and your elbows to be coming up. And notice what this does to your upper back and shoulders. Breathe here. And enjoy the sense of balance in this slightly awkward pose. Good. 2 more breaths. Good, and then slowly, slowly unwind your legs and your hands coming to a standing pose, coming to Tadasana. Tadasana, hands presented forward. And take a moment here to breathe. Good. And then before we come to the second side, what you're going to do is you're going to bring your right foot and you're going to step it behind your left foot. So your left foot crossing forward over your right. That's a good angle of my legs, but then we're going to come back to this camera pose. Again, sorry, I am a little bit excited about my AV setup. So inhale brings your hands to the sky. And for crescent moon shape, you're just going to lean over to the right. Hips coming out to the left. And you're looking to find opening across the left side body here. Hopefully not falling over. And as you do so, notice how the right side loves to try and collapse. So it's really easy for those rib cage to come to your hip bone. You really want to try and keep length in the right side body as you open the left side. So if anything, you're standing taller than you normally do because you're trying to keep the right hip away from the right rib while opening the left side body. Good. Inhale back to center. And exhale, hands to the side, uncrossing your legs, maybe pedaling out the feet a little. Good. All right, Garuda, second side. We did this, which means you're going to bring your left knee up and then cross the left foot over the right, bending your right knee as you do so. So you're sitting back a little bit. If you're super flexible, maybe you tuck your left toes behind your left calves. I am not that person, so do what your body asks of you before you have to do what your body demands of you. Inhale, open your arms to a T. And this time you're going to bring your left arm down, right arm across, as we come into Garuda on the second side, twisting your arms together. If this is hard on the shoulders, you can always just grab opposite shoulders with your arms. You're just looking to open your back and shoulders here. So twisting the arms really just gives you a little bit more leverage to go deeper, knowing that going deeper is not the goal of any pose. The goal is to become a little bit more familiar with your body. Good. 3 more breaths here. One more breath in. And as you exhale, uncross your arms, uncross your legs. Maybe pedal out the feet. Good. Now we did one side of crescent moon. So we're just going to come into the other. So this time around, we are going to bring the left foot behind the right. Yeah, that feels right. Maybe? No. All right, well, do whatever the opposite of what shape you did before. Inhale, hands to the sky. Oh yeah, it was totally your left foot is going to come forward over your right. That feels right. We'll find out. And then as you exhale, open the right side body as you lean to the left. Trying to keep that space in the left of your side of your body as you open your right side body a little bit deeper. Good. Inhale up to center, uncrossing your legs, and exhale, forward fold. Good. Now, we're going to come into crow for just a moment. So if crow is uncomfortable, you can stay here in forward fold, or maybe come down into a malasana. Crow, you're going to bring your hands to the earth, knees to your armpits or triceps as you lean forward, opening your heart to the earth and finding some balance in crow. Breathing here as we sand out the rough edges of our breath. And whenever you're ready, jump back, chaturanga, up dog, and downward facing dog. Whew, okay, that was fun. Good. As we exhale, we're just going to bend our knees and sit with your knees on the earth, tucked toes, and sit back into a pose I lovingly call screaming toe. Whew, that was amazingly done by all of you. You did a wonderful job today, and we will continue. Screaming toe is probably one of my favorite poses just because it's so wrongly named, right? This isn't hard. If this hurts your toes, you can always come up onto your knees. Know that we're just trying to open the bottoms of the feet, your fascia, your plantar fascia. Just trying to get a little bit of an opening there. So if you're a runner or you walk a lot, these tend to get pretty tight. So just breathe into this pose for a moment. Or two. Or three. Good, and we're going to come forward, hands to the earth, and bring your hips back up to the sky into a downward facing dog. Inhale brings that left foot up and back. And exhale, you're going to bring your left knee behind the left wrist. We're just going to come into a gentle pigeon pose here. So in pigeon, you really want to keep that left ankle active and engaged. It protects your left knee, otherwise your left knee might bother you here. If it does bother you, you know that you can come into a reclined figure 4 or whatever other options you choose today. And then as we exhale, just settle in and fold forward and come into this lovely sleeping pigeon pose. And again, if this bothers your knee, come out of it. I injured my knee doing this pose once, and it sucks, so don't do it. Instead, try and listen to your body and do what your body demands of you, instead of the other way around, at least during practice. And now that we've been here for a few moments, maybe settle it a little bit deeper. Maybe your forehead comes to the earth. Activating that third eye chakra, the parasympathetic nervous system, and just letting your body relax and come out of this fight or flight state of mind that maybe we spend too much time in these days. You can stay here, or as you inhale, maybe activate that right hamstring just to bring your right foot back. Just getting a little bit of an active energy in that right glute, right hamstring, as you stay in this pigeon with the right foot engaged. Good, and then as you exhale, bring that right toe back, tucking your right leg, tucking your right toes, and then coming up onto your hands as you inhale, and exhale, pushing back into a downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling out your legs, opening your heart a little deeper. As you inhale, bring that right foot up and back. Exhale brings that right foot forward, right knee behind the right wrist, and settle into pigeon on the second side. Take a moment to get comfortable, and ease into this pose. And in doing so, protect the parts of your body that need protection. And breathe into the parts that need a little bit of air. And eventually settling your forehead to the earth. Activating that parasympathetic nervous system. Settling in a little deeper now that we've been here for a moment. And as you inhale, maybe bringing that left heel, trying to touch the left bum with your left heel. Noticing how the activation of the left hamstrings changes the shape of your hips, your pelvis. And then as you exhale, bringing those left toes to the earth, tucked, coming up onto your hands. And then exhaling into a downward facing dog. Good. So we're going to come onto our back. So just walk forward to a forward fold maybe, and then sit back into the deepest chair you can until you come all the way back and are seated on your bum. Good. So feet to the earth, knees up, hip bone, sits bones firmly placed on the bottom on the mat. And for a little bit of boat pose before we settle onto our backs more firmly, you're just going to start to pick your feet up off the earth. And as you do, make sure you're not collapsing your heart. So you really don't want your back to bend. This is not really good for your back. Instead, activate that lower energy, that lower core to keep your flat back, maybe even opening your heart to the sky. And then as you're here, maybe you extend the legs up for a full boat pose, making sure that you're not compromising your lower back as you do so. Just 20 more seconds here. Breathing into the parts of your body that demand your attention right now. And as you exhale, plant your feet on the earth, and then we'll unravel your spine to the earth, vertebra by vertebra, taking as much time as you can, unrolling your spine to the earth. Good, and coming to your flat back. Feet still on the earth. And from here, we're going to open up into a bridge pose. Unless I have to sneeze. Excuse me for just a moment. Oh, that's the worst. When you don't sneeze and you need to. Good, so to come into bridge, you're just going to use your pelvis first. So you're going to tilt your pelvis so that the tailbone comes off the earth first. And then just vertebra by vertebra, unravel your spine from the earth. Noticing that as you come up further and further, maybe you activate your quads to push out. And in doing so, open your back, open your heart. Nope, your shoulders, not your heart. This is a back bending pose so that your back comes all the way off the ground. Now, if you're here, you can stay here, or if you want to come a little bit deeper, maybe you will roll onto the tops of your shoulders and bring your hands together underneath. Stay here for 5 breaths. And then as you exhale, just release your hands, roll off of the tops of your shoulders, and unravel your spine to the earth. Again, vertebra by vertebra, noticing that this transition is not easy. You have to activate and engage different parts of the body, different parts of the core to do this successfully. Good. Now bring your heels out to the side edges of the mat. Let your knees knock together. This opens up the hips a little bit. Good. So we're going to come into a twist. And I'm going to, let's see, the best way to do this. It's a shame I don't have a camera mounted on the roof. So you're going to bring your knees up so that your knees are above your hips, ankles out in a 90-degree angle. And then you're going to lay your right leg straight and flat. Start by just giving your left knee a hug. Making sure that the neck and head stay firmly on the ground, shoulders on the ground. And then as you exhale, we're going to bring the left leg, over to the right side of the mat. Good. And then as we do so, we're going to look over your left shoulders with a soft-eyed gaze. And notice how there's a little bit of a back bend here. So you're opening your heart up to the sky as you twist over to the right side body. Notice how the sensation in this twist isn't in the lower back, or if it is, maybe try and bring some of that sensation up the rib cage into the upper back. And then maybe with your right hand, come to the left hip and maybe push down, pushing away to open up the left side body a little bit in this twist. And notice how even if you don't push very hard, maybe this moves the sensation of the twist into your side body, into your ribs, or maybe it doesn't move it at all. Good. Inhale brings you back to center. Exhale, lay the left leg long. Inhale brings the right leg up. Give that right knee a hug. And then as you exhale, twisting over, right leg comes to the left side of the mat. Right arm opening to the side as you gaze over your right shoulder with a soft-eyed gaze. And again, listen to your body and explore the sensation of this lovely, luxurious twist. And notice that as you're not working quite so hard in this moment, you have more attention to give to your body. So don't ignore your body just because it's not working very hard. Take this moment to just observe maybe the small aches and pains, the parts of tightness, maybe the parts that feel really good, really open. And again, you can bring that left hand to the inside of the right hip. Just give it a little bit of a push, noticing how that changes the sensation of the right side body and the right rib cage. Good, and then as you inhale, bring your right knee up. And you're going to come into happy baby. So happy baby, so your legs are both going to come up above your knees, above your hips. And then your legs open wide so that you can reach between the window of your legs to grab the outside edge of your feet. And then as you lay your lower back flat against the earth, using the connective energy between your feet and your wrists and your hands to flatten that back and open the parts of your body that are tight in this pose. Maybe this is a hip opener for you. Maybe you get a little bit of sensation in that cervical spine as you try and lay that cervical spine long. Don't pay too much attention to that, but maybe you have sensation there. Know that it's okay to have sensation in your body. just so long as you listen to it. Seems like a no-brainer. After all, there's only one body, so you might as well partner well with it. Partner with your container. Good, and then as you exhale, release the feet to the earth. And you have time for one quick pose. So if you want to come into shoulder stand or plow, now would be a good time to do so. We're just going to be here for a few breaths. So shoulder stand, you're just going to bring your feet above your head. Hands supporting your hips. Trying to carry the weight in your shoulders or your triceps if you're in shoulder stand. The worst thing in the world is that you put weight on your neck in this position because this is just not the position that your neck wants to support weight in. Good. Taking one more breath in here, and then slowly, slowly unraveling, coming to a corpse pose on your mat. Legs laying long, hands loosen out to the side. And before we come into Shavasana, just tense up every muscle in your body for 3, for 2, and for 1. Release completely and let go of your breath. Let go of your practice. And just be in this moment for maybe a minute or two, and I'll call you out when we're ready. Good, and just like we let go moments ago, slowly, slowly come back into the space, bringing some awareness to your wrists and your ankles, your elbows and your knees, integrating everything together through the shoulders and your hips and your neck. And as you come back into this space, bring something with you. Bring a little bit of love, joy. Just bring what you feel the world needs most today. Gently rolling over to one side to a pose of rebirth. Taking a moment here. And when you're ready, using the strength of your arms to come forward into a seated position, eyes closed, hands in prayer. The light in me basks in the glory and joy that is the light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste. My name is Yon. I don't normally teach this class. Yo should be back next week, but it was fun teaching it, so hopefully I will see you sometime again. Have a wonderful evening. Or no, God, it's only noon. Ha!